Hello, I'm Blue Juice. I just wanted to make this video because I've been getting a lot of messages and comments on the Discord and just in general about this wonderful slime farm here that I built on the private server in Silentwisperer's realm. I am going to link to his channel here if you want to subscribe to him. He is a wonderful YouTuber. This is essentially my attempt to build a 5-chunk slime farm for us to use on the realm on Bedrock. This was built and planned before there was any information really for how slimes spawned or how they rendered in, and recently we've gotten a lot of information in that. So before we had a roof because that was a way to prevent from mobs from spawning in here and things like that. But we've made tweaks and things like that, and every day I get messages from people trying to give me answers to this problem. So I figured I'd go ahead and make a video just explaining some of the stuff that I'm going to be trying and leave an open comment section for anyone who has either ideas or maybe a video. I do know that Gruva has posted a video since then on some slime spawning mechanics, and a workable slime farm that is basically essentially the same thing as this one. He did remove the glass roof, and that's why I removed mine. But this is essentially where all the magic happens. There's the paths all around, which actually, let's go ahead and go up to that right now. There is... Where is it? Is it over here? I don't know. Okay, so we'll just bust through our own. Okay, so previously there was an opening. I may have to go patch that up. So essentially these are the spawning platforms. I was able to find this through Chunkbase, a site that I will link in the description. You insert the seed of your world, and you are able to actually find where slimes spawn. This was actually pretty close to the spawn, so it was very easy for me to do. I had a couple members dig it out with me, and that fixed it. Oh, hey, here it is. Okay, so boop and boop. Alright, so the essential idea is the same as it would be on Java. They spawn on the platform only. Then they get aggroed by these, which, believe me, I've had plenty of trouble trying to get my iron golems in a safe and secure form. But they are there, and none of them have died. Then they fall onto this platform, which has ice, which should help them move faster, and plenty of streams of water. This isn't the most efficient way to push them, but this is the most, how should I say it, static way that I could do it. All the other ways that I've found have been pretty unreliable, if I should say it like that. But then they follow down into underneath. They have two entrances on either side. There's one on the left and one on the right. They follow down and get stuck on these magma blocks because there's 3 blocks high there. And then they die. The minecart picks them up, which this is probably not the best minecart circuit, but like I said, it works. Then it is filtered down into these. But as you can see, not very good. Not very good rates at all. Now, I had approximately 30 drops an hour, which isn't great at all. I know that some Java farms will produce thousands of slime balls or even slime blocks an hour. So my attempt was to AFK 24 blocks above it, but once the spawning mechanics video came out by GruvaGuy, I will link him in the description. He actually found out that they are spawning not in a form that would work that way. They actually spawn 24 blocks away due to your X coordinate or your Z coordinate. Your Y coordinate going up and down does not play into the factor. So my trial here was to create an AFK form this far away from here. Now, the issue that I have here, I think, was something entirely different. So I came down here, I dug down. I believe my spawning platform is at 80. It just has to be below 40. But below here, Oh, geez, this is very, very terrible way. This was my temporary spawn, AFK location. But my attempt was to create an AFK-able area where I would be able to spawn in these platforms. Now, this area, of course, you have to create the circular pool so that you keep moving, so the realms doesn't kick you off. And then I use just a good old hold down. If you aim straight down and you hold it down, you'll kill your hunger. So if you AFK here longer than I would say about an hour or two, you're dying. But as long as you're sealed in, you don't have to really worry about that. Now, there are a few problems that I think that I had with that. Now, because I am technically 24 blocks away, that does mean that it will load, and technically it'll load 4 chunks, but I believe there may have been an issue where it wouldn't actually load entirely. Now, I don't know for certain, but the rates were very small. Now, if you look at GruvaGuy's video, once again, I will link that in the description. He does talk about the chunk radius and how it loads. Now, because the spawn platform should have been in radius, I should have gotten all of this to load. I may have only gotten maybe these two, and it may have done like a curve pattern, but even then it should have loaded in there. Now, the issue I think I had was that once they got past this area, because I was 24 blocks away, I believe that's a chunk and a half. I may have been technically more blocks away, but once I got past that, the actual chunk loading for any AFK or anything that is around you is only something like 4 chunks, which would I believe goes out in each direction. So that would be like a chunk and a half on each side, or technically a chunk and a half, or maybe 2.5 chunks. But because my killing platform is right here, I don't think that it was actually loading this in, because as soon as I came down, whenever I was AFKing for something like 4 hours, I did have some slime that died in here, but there was still some that were dying whenever I showed up. I believe that that may have been the issue, because if you once again look at GruvaGuy's video, once it gets out of a certain radius of you, it will actually despawn. So my assumption here is that once they got to about here or something like that, it fell into here and it was still loaded, but because it was, I believe it's 32 blocks or something like that, they then despawned because they weren't dying here because they weren't technically loaded. And so they despawned before they could actually get anything to happen. My next assumption is going to be to actually spawn, is to actually AFK on the other side of this chunk, of this slime chunk. So technically, as long as I'm 24 blocks away, I should spawn as many places as possible. Now, that may cause some issues. May. So technically, as long as because this is right on, and you'll see it's on 0 and 1. So because I'm on 1, I technically should be able to go right over here to, say, 24 and spawn it. But I went ahead and did even more, and I went to 30, and I AFK spawned right down here at 31 to see what my rates were. And the same thing actually happened. As far as I can tell, I do not believe that slime chunks will be possible according to some of the mechanics that have been introduced by them. Now, I am trying to find as many ways that I can make this a workable slime farm. Like I said, I can get slime out of it, but it's not nearly as efficient as a 5-chunk slime farm should be. And I'm really just trying to open up the cabinet and the comments for anyone who can really come up with a solution to this issue. But with that being said, I will leave the forum open to you guys. Please feel free to leave it in the comments. Let me know what ideas you have. Any kind of source material, feel free to link any videos in the description or in the comments as well. I'm trying to get as much information as possible so that I can hopefully work with some of the the other YouTubers and make a workable bedrock slime farm for everyone. Alright, thank you and have a nice day.